Good morning. Well, not so good morning now. Here early on a Sunday, my day off, making this quick video, another public service announcement. We are fixing stupid once again. The Honda Accord that we're doing the wiring rescue on, thought we only had to fix what was in the trunk. Couldn't get the proper signal, so I started taking the car apart to see what was going on. It's a base model Honda Accord, so it's non-amplified, and it's got 4 sets of speaker outputs. It's a fairly simple car to upgrade, but still got to use a DSP to correct the factory signal. Whoever worked on the car before decided that this would be the best route. So they used a piece that I normally like from Memphis. It's a fancy line level converter, which also has gain, has speaker level inputs, has RCA input out. It's a really nice piece, but not the piece to be used for this application. To make it even worse, I guess they lost the connectors to the piece. So then they did the client extra dirty and they soldered these wires. This is why it wasn't playing. I couldn't get signal because of course they snapped off. So you're using an entry-level piece, which is good in the proper application, and then the customer's paying you thousands of dollars. Doesn't matter if the customer's paying you $1, it's not the way to do it. And you couldn't even get them new clips or a new piece to do the install properly. And of course it didn't stand a chance because it was thrown in the kick panel, bouncing around, so of course the wires ripped off. But even if this had worked, they tagged the front speaker wires and ran into this. So this gives you one set of RCA output, so the customer is already losing his front to rear fade. So right from the start, if this had worked, customer's losing features. Fine, so the signal goes from here into not one, but 2 Clarion EQs. So we're talking 6 bands of equalization. They hijacked the signal, so you could have kept front to rear. You could have one for front, one for rear. Had to use 2 of the line driver pieces, but they only used 1. Then they hijacked it into 2 EQs, and then leaving the EQs into the nice ancient Clarion crossover that everybody loves to use. That there's nothing wrong with this crossover in the proper application, but what are you going to do about correcting the factory signal that's coming out of the head unit? We're going to test it. I'm going to show you, but I know for a fact, because we've done this car before, some of the signals plus 16 dB at certain frequencies, some of the signal minus 12 dB at certain frequencies. So how are you going to compensate for that? And then you're just adding extra boost, extra EQ, and only using fronts. No way in heck this car can sound good. And it didn't. That's why the car's here. Then the other problem is, it would have cost the same amount of money to use the right pieces. So I looked online. This piece is about $60, $70. This piece is $100 to $120. These are also $100 to $120 each, and there's 2 of them. So we have $400 here. There's at least 5 or 6 name brand DSPs that retail for that price, not cost, retail. So the Rockford DSR1 is $249. The Metro DSP is $299. The Audison Bit 10, which is the one that we chose to use, I believe is $499. So the reason we chose the Audison, so we can get rid of the factory EQ curve. And then from there, we could do our time alignment, crossover, EQ, everything. And then instead of having 5 or 6 bands, we have 31 bands per channel. And the customer gets to retain his front to rear fade. Easy, simple. It's not hard to do this right. Please choose the right shop. And shops that are doing this, please stop. It's common sense. Take a class. You did more work to do it wrong. We ran 9 wire from the output of the factory head unit into the Audison Bit 10. And then we ran 3 sets of RCAs, front, rear, sub. Simple, easy. You go, the software will walk you through it. You put in the test CD, the software will see the factory EQ, ask you if you'd like to take it out and DEQ it, you click yes. Once you DEQ it, you have a pretty flat signal to work with, and then you can go ahead and adjust it like you would with these, except it's actually going to sound good. Let me take you in the car so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, now we're in the car so I can show you guys on the RTA what's exactly going on. We know these cars, we do these cars all the time, so I know what the factory signal looks like. But we just slid the Audison Tech CD in. We're on track 2, which is pink noise. So pink noise theoretically gives you a flat line from 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. So if we have a flat line going in, we should see a flat line going out. I'm going to switch over so you guys can see. Everything is centered out, so there is no treble, there is no bass. But look what we have going on here. So we have a dip at 1.5K. We have a dip at 12.5K. We're boosted at 4K. See that all the way up there? We have a nasty dip at 315. So this should be flat. This is the signal that they had going in. This is the signal that they had going in. That's not a good usable signal. And then on top of that, they were going to add extra EQ on top. So imagine you added extra EQ at 5K here. You're definitely going to destroy tweeters. I mean, you're spending the money on the equipment. Purchase the correct equipment. That way you can take care of this. You can flatten this out and get a nice clean signal to work with. And then you can do your time delay and your crossover points. I mean, seriously, people. This is the right way to do it.